As you can see, we've removed the original Peragon bed cover from the truck. You can see where I had to take down the LED lighting strips. They're hanging down on each side of the truck. Those will be put back up once we get the new bed cover installed. I'm doing this swap because Peragon was nice enough to send over their latest version of the Limited HD bed cover, the HDx. So we're gonna be doing an install video for that to show you how that works, because it does have some new features and a little bit of a different installation set of instructions. It just gets put together a little differently than the original one does. So we're gonna get that installed, show the new features, and we'll have a brand new Peragon Limited HDx bed cover on the Silverado. So the first thing that I'm doing is putting these rail clamps on in their approximate position, just kind of based on estimation right now. And then I'm going to snug them down so they stay on. And then once I get all three, we'll go back and do the measurements to make sure they're actually in the correct place. This first one needs to be 21 inches from the inside of the cab rail. It's pretty close. It's about 21 3/8, so I just need to shift it forward some. Now we'll tighten that one down, make sure it doesn't move, and we'll repeat the process for the other two to check their measurements as well. Once we have these in place, we're going to use these rods that they provide to check if the brackets are level. It needs a slight incline towards the center of the bed, so that's what we're kind of checking for. And this one does have a very slight incline, so I think I'm going to call that good. It says to use a 1 degree incline. I don't have a level that checks digitally or individual degrees, so I'm going to have to kind of just use one of these and get it as close as I can to what I would imagine a 1 degree incline would look like on this type of level. Now we're going to be working on the front rail crosspiece that goes across the part of the bed that is right at the back of the cab. First thing we're going to be doing is attaching the spring release to the crosspiece. The crosspiece is going to go this way on the truck, with this lower edge facing the cab and this flat edge facing the back. The spring release is going to go over here on this side. You have 2 bolts and 2 nuts and an Allen wrench for putting them on. You probably need a small wrench or socket to hold the nuts while you tighten the bolts. The next part we're going to work on is assembling the rails. We're going to start with the driver's side. We're going to assemble the static ramp first. start by sliding a bolt in this T-rail and then sitting this up here loosely so that the brackets kind of support its weight. And on the rail there is a little guide bolt that's going to go in a little hole on this rail. You don't put a nut on it, it's just a guide bolt to help you line everything up. And then this bolt that you put in the T-slot will slide all the way forward onto bracket, front crosspiece bracket, and you'll tighten it down. Now on each side of the truck we're going to have 2 of these L-shaped black brackets and 5 nuts, washers, and bolts. We're going to slide them into the T-rail. We're going to do a single bolt first. Then we're going to put a bracket on loosely with bolt and washer and slide that onto the T-rail. Then we'll do another bolt, another bracket, and the last bolt. This first bolt's going to go up here to this clamp. Then a bolt is going to go to the center clamp. The last bolt will go to the rear clamp. Then we're going to go ahead and put a washer and a nut on the bolts for the quick clamps. Next we're going to put these little spacers into the T-slot of the rail on both sides. And we're going to close the tailgate. And we want to slide the rail towards the tailgate until those spacers come in contact with it. We're going to start by tightening the cab side rail nut on both sides of the bed. And after you tighten this cab side nut, you just want to take something small and skinny and run it along the outside edge to make sure this rubber gasket lip is flat. Once all that's tightened down, you can open the tailgate and remove the spacer at the end of the rails. Now we're going to install the lock rods by sliding them through these brackets that we put in. You go into this little plastic guide and you slide this forward until the hole lines up, and we put a bolt in through here that will screw into the lock rod. Now we're going to locate the positions for the brackets for the lock rods, and once we get them in position we'll tighten them down. First one is 6.5 inches forward of this clamp. And this one needs to be 12 inches in front of the farthest clamp. Now we're going to start with finalizing the installation with the panels first. We're going to put some bumpers in here so that when everything folds together it doesn't hit metal to metal. And we're going to put these bearing rollers on either side of the panels as well. There are just little holes in the panels where the bumpers pop into. we finished. The new Peragon bed cover is on the truck. Looks exactly the same, doesn't it? There is a couple bit of changes as far as features are concerned, and the install process, as you saw, is a little different. As far as finishing the install, the panels go in and out exactly like the panels on the previous bed cover. You have a pop latch on the passenger side, so when you're putting it in, you put the pin on the driver's side into its hole first, and then get all the wheels in the track and slide it in an angle until the passenger side pops into its little clip over there, and then take it out. You just do it in reverse. Now let's talk about why I decided to upgrade my Peragon bed cover from the Limited HD original to the Limited HDx. And the main reason is the open and closing functionality of the cover. So you'll notice on this one that there's no lock on the outside, because everything for opening and closing this cover is done from inside the bed. So there's no longer any kind of pushing down on the cover in order to open it, which saves you from having to push down on really hot black metal when the sun's been beating down on it. So let's go over here and take a look at how it opens. Pay no attention to the hanging cargo lights. Those will need to go back up once I get some more adhesive for them. So you can see in this one there is a rod right here. So you're going to push forward, and then you're going to do the same thing on the passenger side. And then that's going to allow you to push the cover and open it. You'll see where it started collapsing here in the front. There's the first collapse and there's the second one. And another cool feature about these rods is they actually allow it to be set in partial open and closed positions. So if I wanted to just open it and have the front of the bed cover, all I have to do is pull that and then go over here to the passenger side and pull the other one. And now I cannot push this down. It stays partially covered. So you can see there the bed is partially covered but not fully covered. So there are 4 stages this bed cover can be in: fully closed, 1/3 open, 2/3 open, and fully open. And then of course, if you want the entire space in the bed, you take the panels completely out. So I guess technically there's 5 stages this bed cover can be in. So those are the 2 new features for the Limited HDx bed cover from Peragon. If you want one, use the link down in the description below and use Southpaw15 to get 15% off your order until December 31st, 2025. But that's going to be it for this video. I did the install, I showed you the new features. This is Southpaw Garage, signing out.